So now we're coming into the inner garden, and imagine big gates here and fencing around the walls on here, about 1.2 meters high are the fencing, so the whole thing hopefully will be enough for somebody to not climb over, and climbers all the way around. What you've got here, we've parked the van there, so you can see that's about 5 meters long. So you can see how easily a motorhome would fit in that spot. In the morning it's got the shade of the olive tree to the right, and in the evening it's got the shade to the olive tree to the left. So in the peak of summer there should be some respite as well from the very hot sun here. Amusingly, the first plants I've bought for La Bolla are 4 cacti, mini cacti, from a local fair, and we've called them the 4 Musketeers. So let me introduce you to Aramis, Porthos, Athos and D'Artagnan, and they are going to keep guard for us over La Bolla this summer before any other plants get put in. To cover up these ugly poles, I've got 2 types of begonia in mind, a begonia caprillata on one and another type of begonia on the other. They shouldn't grow to be as high as the actual top of the pole, so I might not get into any trouble for it, and hopefully it will just disguise the ugliness that we have here. I did forget to say that La Bolla has been abandoned for 12 years now. So there were no doors, no windows, everything got taken, all the electricity got ripped out. So we were left with pretty much a renovation project from scratch. And we have added this extension here as a new part to the building. And the view from there is going to have a lovely view of whatever I grow out here. So this bit here is quite important part of the planting plan, where I would like to put a callistemon if possible, because those bottle brush reds are fantastic at this time of year, and it's May at the moment. It's ridiculously hot May. It's been 35, 36 degrees this year, which is really unusual, but I'd like to put colour here. And then we come down, and because this part of the garden is going to get sun all day long, the hotter the better, plants that love those conditions will go here. So we've got succulents and cacti mainly going along this bit here, some of which have beautiful flowers. So it doesn't mean that you're just looking at spiky plants all year. They have actually got a lot of colour to them. So I'm going to make this the sort of cacti succulent end of the garden. So if I walk you down, just imagine this is probably where we will park our car, about here. And then as we go through here, we've got the concrete base that the builders have put down for us, and on this concrete base we're going to have a 5 by 3 metre prefabricated garage installed so that we can store things, and it'd be relatively cool because it's got the shade of the citrus grove, and behind it we're going to have a water tank for taking the rain water off the roof of the old garage and going down there. And from that we're going to have micro irrigation for what will be quite a large allotment plot for vegetables at the back here, which we're going to fence in, just low fencing to keep the cats and stray dogs off, but essentially one that goes out from the back of the wall here, where I can plant peppers, tomatoes, peas, beans, you name it. All the stuff that grows out here really well will go in that area there, and we can use the micro irrigation system from rainwater to actually help that along. Now right here we've got citrus grove, and we seem to have a combination of oranges, lemons and clementines at the moment. We'd like to plant 2 lime trees for for gin and tonics and
And why
kashashas.
is that, Sal?
gin and tonics, and we're rather prone to kashashas as well, the Portuguese cocktail.
Yeah.
So I think that'll keep us nicely in supply with limes. You can see from here one walnut tree that we have. It's on its own because there are no other walnut trees on the land, and I think it's sort of on its last legs. It's having trouble, but at the moment it's looking bright and green, what's left of it. And you've got one of the figs, one of the figs. We have 3 figs, and this is one of them at the back of the land. And they come out in September time, and they're delicious. They're tiny, but the plan is to buy a couple of other fig trees which fruit at other times of the year, so that we don't have all our figs at one time.
Or cherries.
Or cherries. Yeah, we've got one cherry tree there, and that's actually fruiting cherries at the moment. And if anyone wants to come and see us and have piles of cherries, end of May is a really good time for that, because we're picking literally a bowl a day, a punnet a day, which you'd be paying £2.50 for in the shops, and you're eating it all day long, and we still can't get through them. So there's going to be loads that we can't actually use this year. Next year, of course, jams and ice cream and things like that we can use the cherries for. So if you want to have a look at the cherry bowl that's on the window ledge there, my breakfast. So it's gone down already.
They've really darkened in colour.
They have. The rest of the inner garden, you have to have imagination for this. This might not be so easy. So the house will have a veranda on it here, and we're going to have sansari netting around it. This bougainvillea is still standing after all these years and has just gone mad since its prune in February, and the flowers are beginning to appear now, and it will flower now all the way through to October. I know, they're coming out now, and it's a beautiful pink colour, but that's been there ever since we've had the house 16 years ago, and it's just got stronger and stronger, and it doesn't need water, it doesn't need anything. It's incredible. But the rest of it is pretty much starting from a blank sheet of paper. So if you look around, at the moment what you have is the most almighty mess, and that's because yesterday the excavator, massive excavator, came in and dug out the hole for what will be a modestly sized 6 by 3 metre swimming pool. But the hole is considerably larger than 6 by 3, and it pretty much takes up all the garden at the moment. When they finished it, and there'll be 2 metres of patio slabbing on this side of the pool, so 6 by 2 patio area, it will be much more modest in size and won't dominate the garden quite so much. And I have plans for a feature plant on the other side. We call it the disco plants, but it's one of these really spiky native plants, aloe. I think it's either aloe or one of the others, and it's absolutely stunning with some uplighting underneath it, and it deserves to be a feature plant. It's beautiful. And then I'm going to have some grasses, and we're going to raise this mound up on this side, and so I can have trailing plants that actually drape down the hillside, as it were. There'll be a sort of mound there and a feature palm or similar on the top of it. So you actually feel like you're a little bit protected when you're around the pool, and it'll be nice. And so there'll be privacy all the way down the sides with the climbers. We're going to keep the fencing at the back clear of climbers so that you actually get a view outside, because it is a lovely patch and it is all ours, and that will be protected from the view of the road as well. So the idea is that I'll probably fit a good 150 Mediterranean plants in this whole area. So if I walk you, there'll be a path. There'll be a path to the pool where we're going to have a pagoda with a wisteria over one side and a jasmine over the other. So it's a nice scented walk to the pool. And then there'll be a path around the olive tree. So we're going to clear the area around the olive tree of about 3 meters diameter each side of the tree, so we can have hammock chairs and things under there, and that'd be a nice peaceful patch in the shade, which you do need in the summer. There won't be a path going through here, so I'll walk you through here to the other side of the garden. So all of this will be garden, plants, lots of colour, lots of variation in terms of leaf, when they flower, when they look good. But this corner here, from basically out of sight, so from here on is where all the messy stuff can happen. So there'll be a rotary washing line, which is boring but essential, and I'll probably grow a lot of the pots and seedlings that we use for the garden in this corner here. So if you come around, we've got this rather nice area here which has the shade in the morning because of the pizza oven, but then it is exposed in the afternoon, so I might prop up some shade somewhere. But either way, that's a good little area for potting up and growing seedlings and doing what I do messily so that nobody can see. Thanks for making it to the end of this episode. We hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, do give us a thumbs up. If you've got any comments, put them in the box below and we'll get back to you. And we'd love it if you subscribed and came with us on our journey at La Bolla. Thank you.